I rise as a voice for the great people of Calgary and for our vibrant Jewish communities. In the solemn silence of the Sabbath, violence and terror ensued last Saturday. The chosen friends that I have had, the chosen family I get to make, like so many of you from across Israel, began to text. They began to text as they learned and watched the documented evidence of atrocities. They watched babies being thrown into cages. They watched seniors being dragged across the street. They heard news of young people reveling in joy and song and love being slaughtered. They watched wanton destruction of terrorists roaming the street of the country I've come to love in the many times I've had the honor to visit. And now 7 Canadians lay dead. I'm here just to say a few things. The first is, Israel has the right to exist. The Jewish people, as indigenous to the land, who through the modern state of Israel tell the story of the most remarkable indigenous revival on planet Earth. And the world is long overdue in recognizing this Israeli legitimacy, this Zionism. Terror runs across the streets of this great country, this amazing, remarkable democracy. Its legitimacy, Mr. Speaker, is being challenged yet once again. Which brings me to my second point. Israel has the right and indeed the obligation to defend itself by itself. In 1948, the world's establishment had argued against its existence as less permanent than other nations. It is a logic that strays dangerously close to anti-Zionism and through it, actual anti-Semitism. Time and time again, Israel has proven them wrong. Against great odds, fighting to preserve its state, proving beyond any doubt its ability to defend itself and its capital. In most incidences, such strength would be taken as an example of Israel's permanence. Yet each time the Jewish state is forced to sue for peace and grant concessions to its enemies who have only one goal: destroy the state, eradicate the people. We stand with the reservists and security services that bring order to Israel by weeding out hundreds of Hamas terrorists, by rescuing hundreds of innocent hostages, and by ensuring Hamas is dismantled and never capable of this again. And third, Mr. Speaker, anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism. At rallies sprouting up across our land, extremists celebrate rape, murder, and kidnapping by Hamas, calling for actual incitement of violence against our treasured Jewish communities. Extremists celebrating actual hate crimes and actual war crimes constitute an affront to the peace and freedom of all Canadians, especially our Jewish communities. For all the misery, murder, and chaos across Israel and Gaza, Hamas is responsible. There is no equivalence. Hamas is responsible for the deaths you see on the streets of Israel and for the loss of every innocent life to come. Gaza has not been occupied for more than 18 years. For 18 years, it has been part of a Hamas terror factory backed by a clerical military dictatorship in Iran, and it is time to dismantle all of it now. So, Mr. Speaker, in this terrible test, when the calls for appeasement and restraint come, when it's hard to stand with Israel, pay attention to those who actually do. Because under attack by land, by sea, by air, and a firestorm of rockets, infiltrators kidnap and kill innocent civilians. There is no equivalence to be made. Hamas is responsible. Now, this is hard for me because I spent a few years living in the desert under bombardment of Iranian rockets, and I know what it's like. So in the hours and weeks, in the dark months ahead, in the trying times of our defining age, may the blessing of the memories of those who have been murdered over this last week, of those who have been sent to gas chambers, of those who through the millennia have survived, may their blessings fortify us to get this job done, because Am Yisrael Chai.